Dudes, aren't you bored in your privilege? Aren't you bored in your privilege of being so protected in America by our government? Yeah, the government is like kind of like a mental asylum, but you're not in a mental asylum, right? Like you're not. Okay, so I feel like the algorithm lately is like, oh, all the persecution of the chosen ones, like getting away from the narcissist. Like, yep, been there, done that. Like, beast throws off the whore. Like, everyone's getting away from the Jezebel spirit. And then aren't you bored? Are you not bored with your algorithm? I'm bored to death with my algorithm. The gospel can't be freaking exhausted, at least in my mind. The gospel of Christ cannot be exhausted anymore on my algorithm. It's like the persecution of the chosen ones in America virtually not happening. I mean, if you really look at it, how much Christ could an antichrist if an antichrist could antichrist? He can't. He can't do it. So, in your protection, aren't you bored? Look at what's happening to the Muslims in Northwest China. This is where you could actually be inspired by some new material. Look at what the gooky little tiny dick Chinese chinks are doing to the Muslims in Northwest China. Do you think they're doing it just because they're Muslim? Nope. Their God is money only because they have absolved a territory where these people are like, we're not Chinese. And they've been existing there for a long time. And they're largely Muslim, which is Allah. I believe Allah is only a God to be considered in the future. I don't believe Allah has all the power. I believe Jesus ascends as God, and therefore Allah will somehow become under that umbrella everything through Jesus Christ. Okay? So, like, the Muslim religion, to me, the way I see it, is like Allah is like a developing God. Like, he's not like totally God yet because Jesus ascends as God. Okay, that's what's happening. That's why the world is as weird as it is because Jesus is ascending as God, like taking God's place. We all like level up, level up, level up. And you look at the persecution of these Muslims in Northwest China, it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. And it like I guess we sort of like come together over our like common distaste to one person. Like I feel like with Brian Sang being this little like arrogant gook in America, pretending like he's the full disclosure guy, and he's like, I'm gonna save Sarah Adams, this SRA bitch from like whatever, and he comes in and he's like not been around that long, and he's like, I'm gonna save this woman from what? And I feel like he only just found out that there's nothing to save her from because we've all been around for so long. Nobody likes her. She doesn't have a following because nobody likes her. She doesn't need anyone saving from because nobody likes her. And I warned him early on, this is a Chinese man in our little full disclosure bullshit, and he came into some money because he's probably just a little robotic Mossad agent. We were like, we're just gonna give him money and we're just gonna collect our harvest. And it's like, oh, I am now the representative of SRA, the worst woman in like like she doesn't belong there. Like she doesn't even belong there. And she's already kind of like exodus herself because nobody likes her. But nobody really talks about it that much other than like Steve Cambion from Truth Seekers, who I love so much. It's like old news to us. But this dude comes in and he's like, oh, well, I'm going to like save her. Not knowing that like we've been around for a long time. We've all endured this nonsense person for so nobody actually likes her. She can have all this money, she can be propped up. And that's the thing with all these fake people is like they're propped up in like a media sense, but like no one actually likes them. Like Brian Saying comes around and it's like no one actually knows you, no one actually likes you. You do two conferences and you think you're like the god of the world, this little googie Chinese man, and you're like this little leprechaun. It's like nobody likes you, dude. And like, what is the influence? What is the agenda? What is the goal? And also, nobody cares. Okay. So, like, also, like, nobody cares. Like, the influence is just falling away, falling away, falling away. In America, the influence of really stupid women who just bring problems upon themselves. They're just full of chaos. They're just full of control tactics. They're just full of do this for me. And if you don't, I hate you. And it's like, us women are not like that. But how can we triangulate the affairs of the world? How can we connect the whole world? Look at the persecution of the Uyghurs in Northwest China. This shit's all coming full circle. Okay, we're bored to death in our stupid algorithm. Look at what's happening. There is an estimated 1 million. Some people say 3 million. Some people say 2,800. Vice TV said 2,800. I'm like, I don't think so. They're absolving anybody that they can for crimes that are not actually crimes, studying the scripture. They're like, studying the scripture is a crime. And then they're absolving them into these quote unquote concentration camps, which are just like these camps to assimilate them to China, to Chinese. When the irony is 95% of Chinese people hate their government. So if the Matrix is an overlay of an overlay, obviously in America, we're doing the same thing. Well, we're over here in America with this powerhouse of pioneers, of people who are just all for love and men and women getting along and Christ consciousness. We are a group of people who have escaped persecution throughout the ages. We found ourselves in America, concentrated largely in Austin, Texas. And we just will not allow people to bring their garbage culture in. Well, God allows it for a long time just to let the trash takes itself out. But, like, we got a culture in America. Like, that shit would never fly here. But in China, they're like, oh no, we need, like, all these people to assimilate to what? The Chinese are just the god is money. And money can go away in one day. Money can go bye bye in one day. Chinese God, the 5% of people that are like for the Chinese government, 95% of them actually hate their government. I'm laughing because it's absurd. It's absurd behavior from the Chinese demographic, and you're losing, and you're losing, and you're losing. And we've been protected in America for so long because we have this protection and we're getting bored, right? We're like, where can we actually find ourselves useful? Look to the persecution that these Chinese little tiny dick gook Chinamen are doing to the Muslims in China. It's insane. These people are psychopathic. They're insane. They need to be dealt with. They're gonna get what's coming to them because of what they're trying to do to and what they've been doing since 2014 to the Northwest Muslims in China. Get the frig out of here, dude. Christ is for the whole world. When the Antichrist comes, you're gonna feel the heat, right? These little tiny dicks are gonna feel the heat. You're gonna feel the heat. And if you're Muslim coming in, if you're a Muslim coming into America trying to impose your culture in America, you come here, you only hang out with each other, you don't assimilate, you can't get along with American women. American women are very loving. We're just normal effing people. If you just keep being Captain Save-A-Ho with your stupid religion, Allah, I don't think is God. I think Allah was supposed to be eventually ascending as God, like with Christ. Like it all should be like ascending as like one universal God, which is going to be Christ for the whole world. You can't be anti-messianic Muslim, and they obviously know this. And this is why the bitches are going crazy. Because it's one thing to like not know the gospel. It's another thing to like know the gospel and to be like a prideful whore against it, to be a prideful ass whore against the gospel. You know, bitch, you know, Muslim bitches in America, you know, whores of Babylon in America, you fucking know the gospel. If you continue, this is why they're getting sick, getting ugly, getting annoying, getting persecution. They're finding themselves homeless. They've got a bad attitude. They're stuck in despair, stuck in despair, stuck in despair. And it's somehow your problem, not your fucking problem. Not your fucking problem. Don't think women are so weak. You think women are like the weaker sex? Nope, these bitches know damn well. And aren't you getting bored and aren't you getting tired? At the end of our Bible, it says, "Come away from her, my people, so you don't suffer in her plagues." You keep going back to be Captain Save-A-Ho for some dumb bitch who has no following, who has no followers. Brian Sang was like, "Oh, I need to save SRA." From who? From nobody. Because none of us actually like her. Nobody's liked her for a long time. We're nice to her. We're not mean to her, but like no one actually likes her, dude. And he's losing his mind because he was like, "I'm going to save this dumb whore from herself." When it's like, dude, nobody's liked her for a long time. Like, you got it all twisted, you little China man in America. You got it all twisted, dude. No one's liked her for a long time. And you don't hear about it because, first of all, nobody's going to come out and tell you because you don't have any real friends. And the reason why no one was going to tell her about anything was because she doesn't have any real friends. It's like Satan and the whore just like consume themselves. It's like this cannibalistic consuming of each other. All these satanic versions of religion will consume each other. They will consume each other. And in the meantime, like, we're bored. We're bored to death. We're bored to death. Look at the treatment of the Uyghurs in China. Look at what's happening there. This is going to form a triangulation that is going to unite the whole world because that shit is insane. This is the largest concentration camp since the Holocaust, but they're being fed, but they're not just being fed. They're probably being murdered. Some people suspect they're being harvested for their organs. The women are definitely being raped and tortured. That's insane. You little tiny dick gooks are going to get what's coming to you. China, you're going to get what's coming to you because this is insane treatment of people and the prideful nature of the Chinese people, of the 5%. So I say Chinese people, but the funniest thing is it's 5%. Most 95% of China freaking hate their government. They hate it. You're skating on thin ice, China. You're skating on thin ice. All you antichrist losers with your save-a-ho mentality and your freaking prideful nature of any other religion who operates just in love and truth, and you try and separate their families, you try and separate their loved ones, you're fucked, dude. You're fucked. You're fucked, and we're bored. And we're bored from sitting in this protected environment. And we're just like, yeah, we all know. We all know. Look at the Uyghurs in China. This is worth your attention. Look at the shit, dude. Look at it because it's worth actually paying attention to. We're bored. A triangulation of the whole world needs to happen. And it's like within that triangulation, there's a fallout. There's a huge fallout. There's a huge fallout from a dark, prideful gay dude presence or a dark, prideful, antichrist mother presence. This anti-mother, these controlling, annoying women. Oh, don't pay attention to anything but me as I'm being persecuted. No, these fucking women, excuse my language, these women are being persecuted because they suck, because they're so anti-Christ. I've been alone with Christ for years. There was a time where I had no money, no friends, no family. Guess what? I was fine. I was fine. I was fine. Guess what? We're fine. We're fine. We'll always be fine. It's not for your job to be Captain Save-A-Ho. Meanwhile, there are other things that actually require your attention. Come away from her, my people. You're putting all this energy into like helping a dying cult, a dying religion, when you should actually be putting your energy and effort into resurrecting something that is of valor. Look at the Uyghurs in China, of valor. Resurrect that in valor. Resurrect a life where you don't have to consistently freaking correct the wrongs of other women and other people. They brought this shit upon themselves. You just have to step into a heavenly nature of reality, which means getting away from all the annoying people. I don't give a shit if it's your mother. I don't give a shit if it's your sister. Right? Matthew 24, all houses will be divided. Guess what? Break away for a year. You might find yourselves to be a family again, but in the meantime, you might have to stop talking to your family for a year, your cult for a year. You might have to just be alone with God for a year. We're all going to find ourselves in the rightful position of survival, like of not just survival, but like abundance. Like my life is pretty heavenly. It's just like, what is everyone else doing? Why are you all just paying attention to the dumbest shit? When there's a pretty heavenly presence that is omnipotent on the planet that is going to take over everything, that's going to right every wrong. But if your attention keeps going to people that are like, I gotta help, I gotta help, I gotta help, no, dude, not them, right? Look at the Uyghurs in China, right? This is a triangulation that is going to unite the whole world because of the level of the amount of people that are in this concentration camp that is the biggest concentration camp that we have seen since the Holocaust, and it happens to be done by the Chinese, these little tiny gook chink weirdos. And this little tiny gook chink weirdo Brian Singh tried to come into America and be this little robotic, full disclosure asshole, acting out like a freaking idiot because he was like, I'm going to resurrect the whore of Babylon in America. And everyone was like, no one needed you to resurrect her because no one liked her for a long time. Like she doesn't have haters. She don't have followers, dude. She don't have nobody. And he's losing his mind because he's finding out that like no one actually cares. And he's losing his mind and losing his mind. It's a slow exorcism from all the people that are just annoying. Like you're just weird, right? Like you're inhumane. Like you're just an arrogant, prideful son of a bitch. That's all. And then like don't pay attention to them, right? Say it one last time and then stop paying attention to them. We're bored, dude. We're bored as fuck. So look at the Uyghurs in China. Study the situation. Look at the situation. Put your own perspective on the situation and look at how it translates into the entire world. Because we're bored, dude. We're together in communion and we're just like, oh my God, like, what can we do? All these Christians waiting for the rapture, it's like they're just forfeiting their influence to the rapture. And that's, if in my mind, it seems like that's a deception. Like you just think you're going in the rapture, so you don't have to pay attention to anything. No, pay attention to the Uyghurs in China. Pay attention to something that actually matters. Like pay attention to the controlling, annoying personalities around you. Don't just sit and wait for the rapture. Like get your dick hard for something that actually matters. Don't be a limp dick for the rapture. This is embarrassing behavior, if you ask me. This is embarrassing. Like, get your dick hard, sharpen your sword for something that is actually important. Put your mind and attention on something that's actually important. Fight the battles within your own personal vicinity, with your own family. Fight the battles within your own family. Dude, fucking man up.